My dear child, sit with me. Yes, come closer. Let the world hush for a while, because today we speak of something old as the earth, something sacred as the womb, something powerful as a whispered prayer at midnight. We speak of salt. Now I know in a world seduced by silver and gold, it may seem strange, simple, even, to speak of salt as if it were treasure. But listen, long before money was ever minted, before man put faces on coins and called them kings, there was salt. Salt, the keeper of flavor. Salt, the preserver of life. Salt, the great cleanser of space and spirit. And child, when the ancients walked this earth barefoot, with backs bent by burden but eyes fixed toward heaven, they knew that salt was more than seasoning. It was sacred. Child, let me take your hand and lead you down a road the world forgot. The quiet road of remembering. The road where the old wisdom walks barefoot, where the wind still carries the voices of grandmothers and the soil remembers every footstep. You see salt. Yes, salt. That humble crystal resting in your kitchen today, tucked away without a second thought, was once the stuff of ceremony, of covenant, of kingdoms and war, of survival and sacredness. Long before there were banks with brass doors and marble floors, long before men sat behind desks to speak of interest and credit, there was salt. It was precious. It was pure. It was powerful. So powerful, child, that entire trade routes were carved into the earth for it. Men traveled across deserts with camels heavy laden, carrying not gold, not spices, not silk, but salt. Salt has been used to seal promises. It has been poured over thresholds to ward off evil. It has been offered in rituals, sprinkled across altars, pressed into the skin of newborns to protect them from harm. Salt was sacred. But time, my sweet, time has a way of making miracles look ordinary. And now we pass salt across the dinner table without a thought. We spill it and curse it. We forget what it once meant, what it still means if we would just remember. Salt is not just flavor. It is essence. It preserves what would otherwise decay. It cleanses what would otherwise be corrupt. It protects what would otherwise be vulnerable. And it blesses, child. Yes, it blesses. You see, in the deep silence of spiritual places, temples, tabernacles, old cottages warmed by wood fire and prayer, salt was used to create boundaries, not walls of stone, but barriers of energy. Salt kept out what didn't belong, kept in what was holy. The elders used it not just because they were superstitious, but because they were in tune. They knew that energy is a real thing. They knew that the spirit of a space could carry either burden or blessing. And so they turned to the earth's own gift, salt, to cleanse and consecrate. I remember my Auntie May, a woman who spoke with a voice like gravel and honey. She used to take salt in her hand and walk the four corners of her home, muttering prayers only the angels understood. And though we didn't have much money, we never lacked. You hear me? We never lacked. The food was always just enough. The roof always stood firm. And peace, sweet peace, was the perfume of that little house. So don't let this world trick you into thinking that miracles must be loud. Don't be fooled by blinking lights and big promises. Sometimes the most powerful tools are quiet, small, sacred, like salt. Now, I'm not telling you to worship it. No, child, worship belongs to the Creator. But honor, yes, you can honor what the Creator made. You can honor it by using it with respect, with understanding. When you hold that salt in your hand, you are not just holding a seasoning. You are holding legacy. You are holding spiritual technology handed down from grandmothers and prophets, from sages and shepherds, from holy women who walked with babies on their backs and blessings in their steps. They knew something. They knew salt could shift the air. They knew it could break heavy energy and clear a path for goodness to enter. And when I say goodness, child, don't just think of coins and dollar bills. Think of peace. Think of healing. Think of clarity, protection, opportunity. The kind of wealth that feeds the soul and fills the room with divine stillness. Now when you go to take that salt, I want you to pause. I want you to breathe. And I want you to speak. Yes, speak, because words carry power, and when joined with salt, they create a vibration the heavens cannot ignore. Say something like, with this salt, I claim peace. With this salt, I clear the air. With this salt, I call in what is mine, what is holy, what is abundant. Then place it where your soul tells you it should be. By the front door, in the corners of your home, beneath your pillow. Let your spirit guide you. Trust it. It knows. And don't be surprised, my sweet, when you start to feel lighter. When the phone rings with new opportunity. When the job offer comes. When the money finds you. When the burden lifts. Because you remembered. You remembered that the earth still speaks. You remembered that power doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers through grains of salt. So walk forward with reverence. Use what's been given. And know this truth in your bonus: you are not poor. You are not powerless. You are not forgotten. You are the descendant of people who made something from nothing, who cooked joy into beans and rice, who made altars out of corners and prayer closets from closets. You are part of a lineage that knew, deep down and without doubt, that even salt could be holy. So lift your chin, lift your spirit, and place that salt where your faith leads. Watch and see. What is old will become new again. What is forgotten will awaken. And you, beloved, will remember what power feels like. Ash. Amen. And so it is. Come close, child. Come sit where the light falls gently, where silence listens, and the air hums with remembrance. For I want to tell you something many have forgotten. Something your spirit already knows, but your mind may have lost beneath the noise of the world. There is a place inside your house that is more than wood and nail, more than paint and plaster, more than walls holding up a roof. There is a living space, a breathing, watching, waiting space, a sacred space. And no, I don't mean your living room with the fine furniture, nor the kitchen with the clinking dishes. I don't mean your bedroom either, though your dreams pass through it like clouds. I'm speaking of that unseen corner, that quiet place where the spirit dwells, where the energy gathers, where your thoughts, tears, hopes, and whisperings collect, like dew on morning leaves. It may be a corner by your window, where sunlight rests like a cat in the afternoon, or a chair you always sit in when your soul is tired. It could be the hallway you pass through without thinking, but your ancestors passed through with intention. You may not know it yet, but your house is a temple. And like every temple, it has its altar. That altar is not built with gold. It's not draped in velvet or perfumed with incense. It's built with intention, with memory, with the silent songs of your spirit. When you feel heaviness out of nowhere, when your shoulders carry a sadness you can't explain, when you walk from one room to another and feel the chill of something unwelcomed, that's your sacred space calling out, needing to be honored, to be cleansed, to be seen. You see, child, just like your body holds a soul, your house holds your life. It holds your laughter, your loss, your secrets, your prayers. It carries your footsteps, your anger, your joy. And all of that energy settles. It settles in the corners, in the nooks, in the spaces between the ticking of the clock. That's why, my sweet, some rooms feel heavier than others. Why some spaces make you breathe easier and others steal your peace. Because the spirit of a space is real, and that sacred place in your house, that sanctuary within your home, needs to be tended like a garden watered with prayer, swept with presence, lit with love. Now, you don't need a degree or a preacher's collar to bless it. You don't need fancy words or perfect timing. You just need yourself, fully present, fully aware, fully surrendered. Sit in that space wherever it may be. Feel it, listen to it, speak to it. Say, this space is holy. Say, this space is safe. Say, let only love enter here. Let only peace remain. And once you've spoken over it, Once you've blessed it with breath and belief, watch how it shifts. Watch how that corner becomes a comfort, how that hallway hums with harmony, how that old chair becomes a throne. You see, what you call ordinary is often divine in disguise. And what you overlook may be exactly where your breakthrough waits. We're told to chase the world outside, to run after the next thing, to climb, compete, compare. But the truth is, your home is where your life begins. It is the well, the root, the sanctuary from the storm. And if your home is a temple, then your sacred place is the heart of the temple. Don't let dust collect on your altar. Don't let your sacred place be choked with clutter or choked with chaos. Tend to it with tenderness. Adorn it with quietness. Visit it not out of ritual, but out of reverence. Because, my child, when the soul is tired, when the heart is weary, when the money runs thin and the days stretch long, it's not always the church pew you need. Sometimes it's the corner of your house, bathed in golden light, where your spirit can fall to its knees and rise again. That space, your sacred space, it doesn't judge. It doesn't demand. It simply holds you. And the beautiful thing is, when you honor that space, you start to honor yourself. You start to walk differently. You speak with more kindness. You listen with more grace. You breathe like someone who knows they belong. Because when you find a sacred place in your house, you find a sacred place in your soul. You realize you are not lost. You are not broken. You are not alone. You are home, not just in walls, but in spirit. And that, child, is a wealth no money can buy. So let the world talk of fame and fortune. Let them run after trends and treasures. But you be wise. You go home. You find that space where your soul can sit still, where your heart can speak truth, where your spirit can dance without shame. Make that place holy. Make it yours. And return to as often as the moon returns to the night. For in that sacred place, the winds will speak, the silence will sing, and the blessings, oh yes, the blessings, they will come like old friends knocking gently, bringing gifts you didn't even know you'd asked for. So I say to Yug, light your candle, speak your prayer, lay your salt, and build your altar. Not out there, not someday, but right now, right here. Right where you live, Ashi. Amen. And so it is. Child, now that you understand the salt and the sacredness of space, let me tell you what happens when the two meet. When a holy element touches a holy place. Let me speak to your spirit about something the old ones knew without ever reading a book. They felt it in their bones. They passed it down in glances, in gestures, in little bowls tucked behind doors and windowsills. They understood something that many today have forgotten. Intention is the key that unlocks miracles. You see, placing salt in your home is not magic. No, baby, it's not superstition. It's not witchcraft, nor is it ritual for the sake of show. It is a sacred act, a moment where your soul reaches up and the heavens bow down to meet it. But listen closely, because this part matters more than anything else. The salt will not work if you do not mean it. If you toss it like dust, if you place it without heart, without thought, then you're not inviting anything in. You're just scattering crystals with no conversation. What gives salt its power in your home is your intention. It is the prayer behind the action, the belief behind the gesture, the reverence behind the routine. So when you place salt in your home, near the front door, in the corners, under the bed, wherever you feel led, you must do it with purpose, with clarity, with your spirit wide open like a sunflower to the morning sun. Take that salt in your hand and pause. Close your eyes, even for a moment. Speak, not just with your lips, but with your soul. Say something that comes from the deep part of you, the place where truth lives. May this salt purify my space and guard my peace. May no harm pass through this door. May abundance walk boldly into this room and make itself at home. May every corner of this house echo with light, love, and divine provision. You don't need fancy words, child. The heavens are not impressed by poetry if it lacks honesty. Speak your truth. Speak it plain and clear. Speak it with a trembling voice, if you must, but speak it with conviction, because when salt is placed with intention, it becomes more than a mineral. It becomes a magnet. Yes, child, a magnet. A magnet for goodness, a magnet for clarity, a magnet for the things that are already yours but have been delayed, misplaced, or tangled in the world's confusion. The world is full of noise. And sometimes your blessings can't find you because the channel is blocked. By worry, by fear, by resentment, by noise that doesn't belong to you. But when you place that salt with focus, sacred intention, you're not just cleaning your space. You're clearing the way. You are tuning your home like a radio, adjusting it to the frequency of favor, the station of stillness, the music of divine supply. Now don't you dare think this is about money alone. Money will come. Yes, it will. But peace will come first. Clarity will come first. Alignment will come first. And when they arrive, money will follow because there will finally be room for it. Too many people chase money without making space for it. They invite prosperity into a house already full of doubt, full of bitterness, full of unspoken grief. Salt clears. Salt heals. Salt says to all that heavy energy, you've stayed long enough. Go now. It says to the shadows, light lives here now. It says to confusion, order has taken its seat. It says to lack, there is no vacancy for you here. And when you place it with that kind of spirit, watch how the air changes. Watch how unexpected checks arrive. Watch how old debts vanish like smoke. Watch how jobs open, clients call, ideas flourish. Watch how people who meant you no good begin to lose their grip on your life. But never forget this, it's not the salt alone. It's the spirit behind it. It's the prayer behind the placement. It's the faith behind the gesture. It's the woman or man standing in their home saying boldly, I am not helpless. I am not hopeless. I am not forgotten. I am blessed. I am covered. And I am claiming what is mine. You see, child, power doesn't come from how loud you speak. It comes from how clear your soul is when you say it. So if you want that salt to shift your atmosphere, you must first shift within. Breathe deep. Set your mind on what you desire. Not from greed, not from desperation, but from alignment. Say, I am ready. I say, I am available to all that is good and all that is mine. Say, let the wealth come not just to me, but through me, so I may bless others in return. Because real prosperity is not selfish. It flows. It moves. It heals everything it touches. And salt, when placed with sacred intention, becomes a signal, a beacon to the heavens, that you are ready, ready to stop surviving, ready to stop begging, ready to walk in the fullness of the life you were born to live. So gather your salt, child, find your sacred place, speak your intention, and lay it down with reverence. Then let go, let the angels do their work. Let the energy clear. Let the money come, not to fix you, for you are already whole, but to expand you. You are not small. You were never meant to shrink. You were meant to rise. And the salt you lay, when placed with love and clarity, will become the first stone in the path to your abundance. So go ahead now, place it, pray it, believe it. Then walk through your house like you already have it all. Because baby, in the eyes of heaven you do. Ash. Amen. And so it is. Come close, sugar. Let me whisper something to your heart, not just to your ears. Because this is a truth too sacred to shout. It is a melody meant for those who still know how to listen with their soul. I'm going to tell you what the world has tried to make you forget. You are powerful. And your home is a reflection of that power. Now, I know what they say. I know how they laugh when you talk about things like energy and spirit and sacredness in simple acts. But I also know this, that everything in your life, everything in your house, everything in your spirit responds to alignment. Yes, child, alignment. When the inside of you matches the outside of you, when your words match your walk, when your desires match your discipline. Miracles don't just come, they run to meet you. And when you place salt in that sacred place in your home, with clear, purposeful intention, you're doing more than just an old spiritual practice. You are aligning your home, your energy, your thoughts, your prayers, and your actions with abundance. You are creating a space where money doesn't just visit. It feels welcome to stay. But let me take you a step deeper. Let me go beneath the surface, to the soil where true wealth grows. You see, child, wealth is not just coins and currency. It is not just paper in your pocket or numbers on a screen. Real wealth is a vibration. It is an energy, a frequency. It is the way the earth answers your confidence. It is the way the universe bends when you declare, I am ready. Salt, in its sacred stillness, becomes a conductor of this energy. It absorbs the mess. It protects the space. It clears the clutter in the air, so the blessings can see clearly where to land. But here's what I want you to understand. Placing that salt is only the beginning. You must now walk through your home and through your life as someone who expects the blessing to arrive. Don't place the salt and still speak lack. Don't bless your sacred space and then curse your own name with fear. Don't purify your corners and let bitterness take root in your spirit. No, baby, no. When you place the salt, you must also place your faith. You must choose to walk like someone who knows she is about to receive. He is about to flourish. They are about to expand. Now, let me talk to you about how this all connects to money. Money, you see, is not evil. It is not wicked. It is not dirty. Money is energy. And energy is drawn to places of clarity, to hearts of openness, to minds of purpose. So when you set your sacred space, when you bless it with salt and prayer and peace, you are sending out a message that says, this house is ready. This life is ready. This heart is ready. Money doesn't come to chaos. It doesn't dwell where there is disorder, confusion, or dishonor. But where there is intention, where there is peace, where there is preparation, money not only comes. It stays, it multiplies, and it builds. Now don't think this means you can just place salt and wait. No, darling. You are not called to idleness. You are called to partnership with the divine. That means you speak well of yourself. That means you honor your ideas, your time, your gifts. That means you stop calling yourself broke. Stop saying, I can't afford that. Stop shrinking your dreams to match your fears. Instead, you rise to meet your blessings. You say, I am a receiver of good things. You say, I am aligned with divine provision. You say, money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways, and I honor it. And then you go clean your space. You clear your mind. You organize that drawer you've been ignoring. You fix that thing you've been tolerating. Because sugar, a prosperous life does not grow in a garden of neglect. Honor your home. Honor your sacred space. And most of all, honor the salt as a symbol of your readiness. Salt doesn't beg. Salt doesn't shout. Salt simply does what it was created to do, to cleanse, to preserve, to draw out flavor, to hold space for healing. When you place it with faith, your home begins to hum with a new sound, a sound that calls forth opportunities, a sound that draws favor, a sound that tells poverty it no longer has a seat at your table. And yes, money will come, not just money that pays bills. Money that builds legacies, money that funds visions, money that allows you to rest, to give, to bless others from the overflow. Because you were not born for crumbs, you were born to feast, and your home, your sacred, spirit-filled, salt-blessed home, is your first banquet table. So rise up, child. Don't just be spiritual in word. Be spiritual in practice. Let your home reflect the abundance you claim. Let your spirit speak louder than your circumstances. Place that salt. Bless that space. Then go forth as one who knows, deep in her bones, deep in his blood, deep in their soul, that all things are working together, that heaven has heard, that the harvest is near. Money is not just coming to visit, it's coming to stay, because your house is ready, because you are ready. Ash. Amen. And so it is. Now, listen here, child, because this part is where the journey turns. You've heard me speak of salt, sacred spaces, intentions, and the alignment that calls blessings to your door. But there is something deeper, something quieter, something so profound that it can move mountains without ever raising its voice. This is the power of faith and patience. In a world that moves fast, where everyone wants everything yesterday, faith and patience are like soft rivers carving through hard stone. They are the silent strength that holds your hand when the night is long and the waiting seems endless. You see, placing salt in your home, blessing your space, speaking your intentions. These are acts of faith. But faith doesn't stop there. Faith lives in the waiting. Faith sings in the stillness. Faith dances in the dark. When you place that salt in your sacred place, you must understand the blessings you seek might not show up on your timetable. They don't always come wrapped in loud packages or shiny bows. Sometimes they come as whispers, as small shifts, as unseen movements beneath the surface. And it takes patience, dear one, patience to recognize these signs, to hold hope when hope feels thin, to keep believing when the world feels silent. You remember how the seasons turn, how the seed doesn't sprout overnight, but pushes slowly, surely, toward the sun. That is faith and patience in motion. The seed does not ask for rain every day. It does not rush the bloom. It simply trusts the process. It knows the earth will hold it, will feed it, will bring it forth in time. So too must you. Don't let your heart grow weary because the money hasn't come yet, because the door hasn't opened, because the phone hasn't rung. Your sacred space, blessed with salt and intention, is already working, even if you can't see it yet. Every grain you place is a prayer in action. Every blessing spoken is a promise set in motion. Remember the stories of the ancestors who endured storms and droughts, who waited years for freedom, for justice, for peace. They held fast to their faith. They held fast to their vision. And that is the same strength you carry now. Faith means believing in the unseen, trusting in what your eyes cannot yet grasp. It means knowing that the universe is conspiring in your favor, even when the evidence feels hidden. It means holding a quiet confidence that the salt you laid in your sacred place is a beacon, a calling abundance home. And patience is the grace that keeps you steady. Patience is the calm in the eye of the storm. It is the gentle whisper telling you to breathe, to rest, to prepare for the harvest. You see, blessings don't always come as a flood. Sometimes they drip slowly, filling your cup drop by drop until it overflows. And your job, dear heart, is to keep your cup ready, keep your faith alive, keep your spirit open. Do not let discouragement cloud your vision. Do not let impatience steal your peace. Instead, cultivate your patience like a garden. Water it daily with hope, feed it with prayer, nurture it with praise. And when doubt tries to sneak in, remind yourself why you placed that salt in the first place. Remember the intentions you set, the promises you made to yourself and to the divine. Remember the sacred space you created, a sanctuary where miracles can unfold, because they will unfold in time, in their own perfect time. This is the beautiful dance of faith and patience. To trust the process, to honor the waiting, to believe the blessings are on their way, even when the road is long and the night is dark. So hold on, beloved, hold on with courage, hold on with grace. Place your salt, bless your space, speak your intentions, and then wait, not in fear, but in confident expectation, for the universe hears you, the angels watch over you, and your sacred space is alive with the promise of abundance. Be patient, be faithful, be steadfast, and watch as your life begins to shift in ways you never imagined. Ash. Amen. And so it is.